Hello and welcome, Dirty William here, back with the final episode of my Dungeons & Dragons Online Let's Play series. Today I'm going to go over the series goals, the pros and cons of this build, advancing this character, and advancing your free-to-play account. Episodes 1 through 6 of this series was using a free-to-play account, but I used a pre-made path fighter. I found out after episode 6 that the pre-made paths are horrible, so do not use them. Please find a build either on the DDO forums or someplace else and use that build. They will be more involved, so it will not be a very easy leveling process for a new person, but in the long run, you will have a lot better time, a lot more fun playing the character. So, in episode 7 I rebooted the series. And the reason I did that is because I wanted to be able to get a good build. So I chose the 18 Ranger, 1 Fighter, and 1 Rogue. The goals for the series after that was to have a free-to-play character on a free-to-play account that had good DPS, good self-healing, was good in a party, and was also able to solo. And I think that this build does that. I'm going to go into the pros and cons of the build and give you some pointers on what's good and what's bad about it. The good part is the DPS is not top tier, but it's definitely no slouch. You can really throw some damage around whenever you're using your haste boost and your damage boost. The healing was also okay for heroic, normal, and hard, but for heroic elite I did have some problems, so I did trail a hireling around. Now, I also pretty much had a hireling with me at all times. That was just mostly for ease of use, but I did quite a bit of solo without a hireling as well, and the healing was still good. Another good part was the trap skills. They were good for heroic, normal, hard, and elite if you had the right gear. And I'll be going into the gear stuff in just a moment. That brings us to the bad part of the build. The healing was not that great for epic hard, so definitely get a hireling for that. Also for epic elite, I tried an epic elite with a hireling and died horribly. So that might be just because of play skill. I think I was level 23 or something like that, had just gotten some better gear, so I thought, oh, I'm going to give this a try. It was Servants of the Overlord. I killed off the Rakshasa really quick, and then the Priestess, I started beating her down, but the spiders, there were like 5 of them doing 150 points of damage to me a whack. I had no displacement or anything, so I was pretty much done for. So keep that in mind. Also, the trap skills on Epic Hard, at least at level, weren't that great, but I think that was a gear problem. In the Lords of Dust, in the trapped hallway, with the blade trap, the fire trap, and the next blade trap, which is after the shrine, I could not find the trap boxes. So I think, again, though, that it was a gear problem because I did not have, at the time, I think I had a plus 13 search item, and by these levels you should probably be able to find a plus 20 or at least a plus 15. Now into advancing the character. If you enjoyed this character and you want to play it more and get some more value out of it, what can you do? Well, first of all, I would recommend getting tomes. In this order: Constitution, Intelligence, and Strength. Constitution for hit points, because I am, even with gear, still under 500 hit points, which is not really that great for an epic level melee. I'm going to be standing toe-to-toe with mobs and trying to kill them off, so I want some more hit points. Intelligence is going to help out your trap skills, and Strength obviously is going to help you do more damage. Gear is, in a similar fashion, go for Constitution, Intelligence, and Strength, the best plus whatever you can possibly get. Also, be on the lookout for like a Greater False Life item. There's a lot of gear on the auction house, or that you can loot, that would be good. Some of those would be, for example, Whisperchain, which I'm wearing now. This is giving me Blurry, Ghostly, 40 more hit points, and Insightful Sneak Attack bonus, so I do more damage. So that's pretty nice for a level 23. Another option would be to use the Hide of the Goristro that comes in various different flavors of strength and constitution and dexterity, so maybe try to find those on the auction house as well. This Whisperchain is normally between 200 and 300,000 platinum pieces. I managed to get this on a buyout for 19,999 platinum. So I snatched it up really, really quickly. It is bound to character, so you cannot pass it along to anybody else, but it's for level 23 on, it's actually not too bad. I would also advise getting better search and spot items, obviously, because part of your role in a party is to do the traps. Also, you get a plus 30%, or up to a plus 30% for doing traps, so that's a welcome benefit for a free-to-play character. The Khopesh that I'm currently using were also bought off the auction house. It is Ironwood Khopesh, minimum level 23. The base damage is really good, plus it has the impellent that does extra force damage, and it has a greater stone prison, which means whenever I hit something with a crit, it has a chance to turn that mob into stone. So they just kind of stand there and get wailed on. Now, that having been said, one thing I've been using, for solo at least, just because it's fun, try something different, are these guys. The Blade of the High Priestess and Sacrificial Dagger. Now, the Blade of the High Priestess was like 12,000 plat on the auction house. The Sacrificial Dagger was 8,000, so they're very, very affordable for a level 21-ish character. Excuse me, I had to cough. So what does the Blade of the High Priestess do? That gives improved paralyzing, so the mobs are just stopped cold. And the bewildering and the wounding are okay, but the slave living is actually pretty cool too. It has a proc that will instantly try to kill the guy. The Sacrificial Dagger has poison burst, constitution poison, negative energy spike, but I like the last two parts there of the life stealing and actually have a chance to drain levels off a mob and make them easier to kill. Plus it has lesser vampirism, so whenever I use those, or use this rather, I'm able to kind of get some health back. So that's fairly helpful for somebody who is trying to solo things. Now, another option that you have, as with any character, is to do a true reincarnate or TR, which means you basically start the game at level 1 again. You're back on Korthos, which is right behind me there, but you're a level 1 character. You can change everything about your character except for your name. So you can change the gender, you can change the race, you can change the class, you can go for this same build if you like, or you can try something different. Now, a ranger gets a +2 to your damage with ranged weapons as a past life feat. So if you TR, you'll be doing 2 additional damage with any kind of ranged weapons. But don't let that lock you into what you might want to play. There's nothing saying that you have to do a ranger. Now, whenever you TR, you get to keep all the gear that you have. So if I TR'd this character, I'd be able to have these for next life. I'd be able to have these for next life, my Whisperchain, everything else that is nice that's bound to character that I'd like to keep. But don't let that lock you into playing another ranger or playing a character even with light armor. If you'd like to try a paladin that uses heavy armor and uses a great axe or a great sword, then by all means go for it. That's part of the fun of the game, is to try new things. But also, one of the benefits whenever you true reincarnate is you're able to open quests up for the first time on hard. So you won't have to open them on normal, and then hard, and then elite. You can go from hard straight to elite. And also, because you're opening things on hard and running those quests, if you run the quests on hard the very first time, you'll start building up a streak bonus, which you can get a lot of XP that way. So I would probably recommend that. That's actually a good thing to do. Plus it gives you more favor for more turbine points. Now, let's talk about advancing the account. There are 2 ways to go. One more focused on heroics and one focused on epics. If you like the heroic part of the game, which is level 1 through 20 pretty much, if you like that, I would recommend getting Giant Hold. Giant Hold is 950 turbine points, which sounds like a lot, but through play you can actually get those points free. It just depends on how much you want to grind. Or you can purchase points in the DDO store. But Giant Hold, it really shores up the lack of quests from level 13 to 17. You're still getting good XP for level 14 quests, even if you're level 17. The Giant Hold pack has 9 quests and a raid, plus all of those quests are epic quests as well. So it's like a twofer, you're getting a double deal. And the raid is a completely new raid with new gear. So that's a pretty good thing for a heroic character. You get the advantage of levels 13 to 17 having some new things to play, and you get to look forward to the epic levels of those, or epic versions rather, of those quests. But let's say you're more into epics. Maybe you've gotten into a guild where most people are in the higher levels, at least level 20 to say 25 or so. What I would recommend is getting Menace of the Underdark. Now, Menace of the Underdark is not an adventure pack, it's an expansion pack. And that means that even VIPs have to purchase Menace of the Underdark. It's $30, which is kind of expensive, but this is what you get with that. You get 4 wilderness areas, 15 quests, and 1 raid. And by far, this, to me at least, is the best value for somebody wanting to stay in the higher levels from 20 on and try to progress to level 28. Another thing that you get with Menace of the Underdark is the epic destinies. All of the power to make your character better is in the epic destinies. Not just a little bit better, but like leaps and bounds better. It shores up the deficiencies you have in your build, it augments its strengths. For example, say I purchased Menace of the Underdark and I went into a certain tree. It's similar to the trees that you would find in the heroic levels, spending your action points on. The tree that you choose usually has along one side where you can choose +2 an ability score, and I believe you can get up to +6 in an ability. So let's say you want a +6 to your constitution because you want more hit points. Throw some points in there. Spin them just like you would the action points. You also get special attacks in some of the trees, and you get some healing in some of the trees as well. So take a look at the ddowiki.com and check that out and look for the epic destinies and maybe see if that would be good for you, a good fit for you, I guess, and find out if that would be something that you would want to get. But those are the 2 recommendations that I would have. If you like heroics, say you're wanting to TR this character, get the Giant Hold pack because that will really help. They have a lot of good gear there and a lot of good XP. If you want to focus more on epics, you can go throw some extra money at it and go for Menace of the Underdark, which again is just a really good deal. That if anybody is wanting to experiment with being level 20 plus, 20 to 28, I would recommend Menace of the Underdark because it's just such a good expansion pack and has so many good things going for it. And that is going to be it for this episode and this series. So Generic B here is going to sit down and take a little break. Overall, this character and this series has been a lot of fun. Yeah, I died a lot. That's going to happen. There has been some grinding of XP. I've had to run several things over and over and over, but it's things that I enjoy, and I think that's part of the fun. If you find a quest chain, or even just one quest that you really like, farm it up, play it, keep going, because that's part of it, is finding what kind of build you like and what kind of quests you like and just having fun with it. This is a game, so have fun. And that's going to be it for me. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this is Dirty William reminding you to do the dirty work.